everybody, my name is Shazane and today I'm going to be doing the tag My First Time, and this might not be, I have about 13 questions here and they might not all be exactly the same as like the original tag. I got this tag off of Ciao Bella here on YouTube, so I just kind of picked and chose what questions I want to answer. I'm going to answer the majority of them. Some of them just didn't really apply to me, so I just skipped them, but I still have 13 questions, so if you're interested in learning a little bit more about me, please stay tuned. Question number 1 is my first job, and I've had 2 actual jobs and then 1 fell through. But my first job was when I was 14 years old. I was a freshman in high school, and my stepdad owns a restaurant, so I worked there, and I didn't work as a waitress. It was kind of like if you take maybe Boston Market or not really KFC, okay, like the setup of Boston Market or KFC, but add like home cooked really good food. So it's kind of like over the counter help. I did cash register, I made meals, I went out and cooked barbecues on site. I also waitressed weddings and stuff, so my job required a lot of things, but normally going into work I'd just be on register and making meals behind the counter. So, and I had that job all the way up till not even a month ago. My last day was July 31st. I went on maternity leave of 2014 this year. So, and I was there for about 7 months, 7 years and 2 months. So I quit when I was 21. So yeah, that was my first job. First car, I bought my first car from my neighbor when I still lived at my mom's house. It was a 1999 Ford Escort, and it was red, and I bought it for $1,200, I believe. I think they originally wanted maybe $1,600, but we talked them down to $1,200, and I had that car for 3 years. What the heck is this doing? I had that car for 3 years, and I definitely got my money's worth out of it, and it was an awesome car, but as a new driver you kind of beat it up, and I didn't take very good care of it, but I kind of miss that car. Number 3 is my first high-end product and first high-end palette. My first high-end palette was my Naked palette, which I should have probably brought up with me to show you guys, but you know what the original Naked palette looks like, and I still have it. I hit pan on a couple of the colors. I'm getting there with a couple more colors, so I'm definitely gonna have to repurchase it. But that was my first like high-end palette I ever bought. My first high-end product would have to be, I think it was a MAC lipstick. Oh shoot, I forget the color of it. I think it's called like Cream in My Coffee, and it's kind of like a it's more of a fall color. It's definitely more on the brown side. It's really pretty. I didn't bring it up either. I just kind of sat down to press record. But that would be my first high-end product, would be the text message, would be the MAC lipstick. 4 is first YouTube video, and I mentioned in a recent video, actually, I can't remember exactly which one, but this is my second YouTube channel, and my first one was like Tay and Shay TV. I had started it with my friend and then just kind of took over, but my first video I think was just a vlog, and I think it was just talking about nothing. I have no idea what I was talking about. I think the video is still up on YouTube. I'm not gonna tell you how to get to it. It's so embarrassing, and I'm like, oh, like I was so awkward in front of the camera. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know, but I think it was like a vloggy type video. Number 5 is my first time wearing lipstick. That differs than the first time I wore lipstick in public. I mean, besides like wearing like Halloween black lipstick, me and my mom, well, my mom actually was helping me experiment with some makeup late middle school, like going into high school, because I started asking her questions about like what I can wear now, what I should wear later, what lipsticks would look good on my skin tone. So she kind of sat down with me and we were experimenting with a lot of lipstick colors. So I remember back in middle school doing that. So I don't know, like 2006 maybe. But I actually just started recently, now it's 2014, wearing lipstick out in public, because it was funny because when I was younger, or even in high school, lipstick was kind of like an old lady thing. Not so much even older lady, but like definitely out of high school, like college and up. It was more all about the lip glosses and the chapsticks, and nobody had lipstick. I remember wearing lipstick once to high school, and people were like, why are you wearing lipstick? Like, that's weird. And I never wore it again. I never wore it again until recently I'm starting to get into it again, so yeah. Number 6, first person I subscribe to, and I think I mentioned this in another recent video. I feel like these questions are like, I've definitely heard these questions before. The first person I ever remember watching, and I think I subscribed to her, I'm not sure because I've been watching YouTube videos for a very, very long time. Like a good 8, 9, 10 years. I don't remember when YouTube started, but it kind of started getting big and I watched it. But the first person I ever watched was Foxy Locks, and she's like a beauty guru. I haven't watched her videos in a very long time, but I know that she came out with her own line of extensions somewhat recently, so she's doing well for herself. But I remember watching her, and I'm assuming I probably subscribed to her because I watched her videos all the time, kind of like binge watched her. So that was the first person that I think I subscribed to. Number 7, first time I colored my hair. I can't remember the first time I dyed my entire head. I've tried going blonde. I did auburn before I got pregnant, then I changed it back to brown. This is pretty much my natural color. It's kind of like a reddy brown. But I do remember me and my family used to drive down to Florida, and it's a 24-hour drive from where I live to drive down there. And I would go with my brothers and and obviously my parents. They would go down. And I remember one year we had picked up this product called Sun-In, which I still think they actually sell to this day. And it's supposed to just lighten up your hair while you're sitting in the sun. Like, you would apply it on your hair and then go outside and it would lighten it up gradually. Well, what happened is I would put it in my hair and I would see no results after that day. And, you know, I would take a shower, and when you wet your hair, it looks a lot darker than what it is, especially if you're a brunette. So I'd be like, this stuff isn't working. I'm going to have to put a lot more in. So I put a lot more in. And one day, I did that for like a week straight down in Florida. And then one day I wake up and my hair was like orange. And I'm like, oh my God. So we had to go and like buy hair dye and dye my hair back to brown and everything. Oh my God, it was really, really funny. But the product does really work. You just have to use it right and just be careful with it. I overused it. So I guess that would be considered the first time dyeing my hair. First YouTube friend. And I haven't actually met someone directly from YouTube, and that's why I talk to them. I had, like I said on my last channel, I had started it with a girl that I went to high school with, which we still actually keep in touch. I actually was texting her earlier today. I started my first YouTube channel with her, but we were already friends. And then my other friend, Brett, we weren't really like friends in high school. Like, we kind of knew of each other. And then he's found my YouTube channel, and we've been kind of communicating, and we want to do collabs together. But we, you know, we're friends or whatever. But again, we kind of became friends outside of YouTube. Like, I know him personally. I've never met someone just directly from YouTube, and we kind of message each other, which I would love to. I'm not viewed enough to get myself out there right now, so I don't know. Really no actual just YouTube friends. So I just had regular friends that also did YouTube. This was number 9. My first pet. This is kind of a two-parter for me because my first pet that I ever remember having that I think was my mom's was a cat named Tiggy, and I hated it. It was not a nice cat. It used to scratch out my little brother when he was born. He's 6 years younger than I am. And I remember like she used to whack at him and like hide in the Christmas tree, and if you walk by she'd be like she was so mean, and I didn't like her at all. But then also living at my mom's, my first like personal pet, I believe was a goldfish. I'm sorry, it wasn't a goldfish, it was a betta fish, but he was orange, and I named him Duncan. And I asked my mom what happened to this day. I just gotta adjust because my foot is falling asleep. I have to ask my mom, like, what happened to this day, but she swears to me that she didn't kill my fish, which I believe her. I don't know what happened, but I remember I slept over at one of my friend's house, and I came home, and Duncan was gone out of his fishbowl, and it was just a tiny little fishbowl. I actually still have it. It's cleaned out, but it's sitting in my closet, and it was, like, on top of a shelf in my room, and there was no fish in it, and I'm like, Mom, did you move Duncan or something because you were cleaning out his bowl? And she said, oh, no, I cleaned out his bowl, but I put him right back in there. He should be in there. And he was gone, and we were like, did he jump out? And we searched all around and stuff, and I could not find him. To this day, I don't know what happened to that fish. And no, I know a lot of people are like, no, your mom definitely killed him. Like, my mom honestly doesn't lie. Like, she's very, like, I'm gonna tell you if I killed your fish or not. And she was just as confused as I was, so... but then when I moved out of my house in 2012, I got 2 more betta fish, and they were in separate bowls, but they like stacked on top of one another, but they couldn't get into the other bowl. Finn and Jaws. Finn was a red betta fish and Jaws was a silver one. And Jaws died first, and then a day later Finn died. And I left them in the bowls forever. They practically disintegrated because I was kind of afraid to like clean out the bowl. I didn't know what to do. So they pretty much disintegrated in the bowls.
My foot's asleep. Wake up.
Ow. Oh, why does it hurt so bad? Ouchie. Number 10 is the first time I was ever heartbroken. And I remember this, oh my gosh, it like traumatizes me to this day. You never really forget your first love, and I had this thing where I really liked long distance relationships. Even all throughout high school, I had like 3 serious ones. 2 were from New York, and the first one I'm talking about was from Ohio. And don't ask me why, but the first one from Ohio, his name was Corey, and I remember, I think I was like, I don't even know how old I was. I want to say like 13 maybe, like just when you start to get into that stage of like liking boys, and like once you have a crush, you love them. It's crazy, it's kind of creepy, but so I remember he used to call me at night because of the whole long distance thing. We had to call after 9 o'clock to avoid any kind of charges and stuff. I don't know, it was a weird thing, but he would always call me like 9:14 on the dot or 9:15 on the dot. And every single night we did this for months and months and months. And then one day he just didn't call, so I was like, okay, like he's probably busy or at a friend's house or whatever, so I ignored it. And then the next day he didn't call again, so I'm like, is he okay? Because being long distance, you don't really know if something happened to them. And I didn't have like texting yet or anything. I didn't have a cell phone, so we were using like the house phone, and I called and his sister answered, and she's like, oh, he's in the bathtub, he'll call you later. So he never called. I had to go to bed. It was getting late because I had school the next morning, and he didn't call for about a week. And I was totally like, my heart was ripped out. It bothers me to this day. My heart was absolutely ripped out because he never ever called again. And I didn't want to be like psychotic and try to call him all the time, but it was obvious that he wanted to move on, and I guess he didn't know how to tell me, and I was totally just, oh my gosh, I can't even explain it. So that was the first time I was ever heartbroken. Number 11 is my first concert, and I remember back in middle school I was friends with these girls, Brandy and Courtney, and we went to go see Hello, Goodbye and Good Charlotte. Like it was the both of them at that one concert. So that was the first concert I had ever been to. I was probably like 14, 15 years old. No, maybe like 14 or 15 years old. And I remember everybody was like mosh pitting, and I was terrified because they started grabbing people and throwing them into the crowd. Like literally, they would lift you up and throw you in a crowd and make you go crowd surfing. And one guy was like, you want to go up and crowd surf? And I'm like, oh God, like no, don't touch me. And everybody was just like I said, mosh pitting, and everybody was around you. I kept getting hit. Like I had to get out of the crowd. I was so scared. So I actually still have a souvenir t-shirt from that concert. So it's like, Hello, Goodbye, and it's in like a Celtic green color. 12 is my first embarrassing moment, and this is a very difficult question to answer because I constantly embarrass myself and I don't know when that started. But one that stands out clearly in my head was, again, in middle school. I feel like middle school is a very eventful time for me. In middle school, I was kind of awkward. Like, I would wear sneakers all the time and sweatshirts all the time. My hair was really short. It was like up to here. And I wouldn't do anything with it. It would just be natural, and I kind of had like a natural wave. Like, this is not my natural hair. This is curled, but my hair does have a wave to it, so it was odd looking. I didn't wear makeup. I wasn't like the prettiest girl. Like, nobody, would be like, oh my god, like, she's beautiful. So anyways, I remember like most of my classes were all on one floor, but there was one math class that was up a flight of stairs. And we got out of the math class, and so we're coming down the stairs, like the entire class got out, and we're all coming down the stairs to go to our other classes. And I was carrying a bunch of books like this, and there were two boys that were goofing around right next to me while we're walking downstairs. Like, they kept pushing each other and stuff. Well, one of their feet got in front of me and tripped me, and I was like halfway down the last flight of stairs, and I fell. I fell like face first down the stairs. My books went flying, and I said something in Spanish, like something I heard my mom say before. I have no idea what I said, but everybody was like cracking up, and I was so embarrassed. Like, nobody helped me get up. Like, I was so embarrassed, so I'm scarred for life from that one. And the last question is my first alcoholic drink. My biological father really liked beers and stuff. I think just like Bud Light. So I feel like I've sneaked like a sip of it and hated it one time. I don't even like the smell of it. But actually like drinking and enjoying a drink was probably like a Mike's Hard Lemonade or something like that. I really don't enjoy drinking. It's not really my thing. Even with Mike's Hard Lemonade, I feel like it's too alcoholic for me. Like, that's all I can taste is the alcohol. So never been a big drinker, but I think Bud Light was my first taste, and Mike's Hard was my first drink. Okay, so those are all the questions I had for this tag video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. You can also subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any new videos. Also, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram, all at Shazone, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until my next video, I will see you next time. Bye!